Imagine a creature with 100 fiery dragon heads, each capable of scorching the earth and poisoning the skies. A being so colossal that its very existence threatened to tear apart the cosmos. This is Typhon, the father of all monsters, a primordial force of chaos that even the mighty Zeus feared. But Typhon is just one of the many complex and terrifying figures that lurk in the shadows of Greek mythology. These aren't just mindless beasts. They are tragic figures, born from a myriad of circumstances, embodying the darker aspects of the human condition, and challenging our understanding of good and evil. Some, like Typhon, were agents of chaos, seeking to disrupt the order of the cosmos. Others, like Medusa, the Gorgon, with a petrifying gaze, were victims of circumstance, their monstrous forms a reflection of the cruelty and injustice inflicted upon them. Their stories, woven into the rich tapestry of myths and legends, invite us to question the very nature of monstrosity. Are these creatures truly evil, or are they simply victims of circumstance, twisted by fate or the whims of the gods? Take Medusa, for instance, one of the three Gorgons, who was born to the primordial sea deities Phorcys and Ceto. Unlike her immortal sisters, Stheno and Euryale, who were monstrous from birth, Medusa was born a beautiful woman. However, her beauty caught the eye of Poseidon, the god of the sea, who, overcome by lust, violated her within the sacred space of Athena's temple. The goddess, enraged by this sacrilege, unjustly punished Medusa by transforming her into a monstrous Gorgon with venomous snakes for hair and a gaze that could turn men to stone. This was a cruel and unusual punishment, not for any wrongdoing of her own, but for the actions of others. She became a pawn in the gods' power struggles, her beauty twisted into a horrifying curse. The hero Perseus, tasked with slaying Medusa by King Polydectes, used his cunning and a reflective shield, a gift from Athena, to avoid her deadly gaze. He ultimately decapitated her while she slept. But even in death, Medusa's power remained. Her severed head was used as a weapon by Perseus, capable of petrifying enemies and turning tides of battle. From her blood sprang the winged horse Pegasus and the warrior Chrysaor. Medusa's story explores themes of female rage, victimization, and the destructive power of beauty. She has become a symbol of female empowerment and a reminder of the dangers of objectification and abuse. Her image has been reclaimed by feminists and artists, transforming her from a monstrous figure to a symbol of strength and resistance. Then there's Typhon, the father of all monsters, a colossal being born from Gaia, the earth, and Tartarus, the underworld. Imagine a towering figure with 100 dragon heads, each spewing fire and venom, his serpentine body coiling around mountains, his wings darkening the sky. Typhon was a force of nature, a primordial being who challenged the very existence of the Olympian gods. Born from the primal forces of the earth and the underworld, Typhon was, in essence, born a creature of chaos. He represented the untamed, raw power that existed before the Olympian order, a force that sought to disrupt and destroy. He wasn't made evil through any external influence or curse. His very being was an embodiment of chaos and destruction. After the Olympians, led by Zeus, overthrew the Titans in the brutal 10-year war known as the Titanomachy, Gaia, in her fury, sought a new champion. Typhon was her answer, a monstrous being capable of shaking the foundations of Olympus. The battle between Zeus and Typhon was an epic clash of titans, a struggle that threatened to tear the cosmos apart. Typhon, with his overwhelming power, initially gained the upper hand, even managing to sever the sinews from Zeus's limbs. However, with the help of Hermes and Pan, Zeus regained his strength, and wielding his thunderbolts, ultimately defeated Typhon, trapping him beneath Mount Etna, where his fiery breath still causes volcanic eruptions. Typhon represents the primal forces of chaos and destruction, the untamed power of nature that can challenge even the mightiest gods. The Chimera, a fire-breathing hybrid creature with the head of a lion, the body of a goat, and a serpent for a tail, was a terrifying offspring of Typhon and Echidna, a testament to their monstrous legacy. This grotesque beast, a symbol of the unnatural and the monstrous potential that lurked within the primordial forces of the universe, terrorized Lycia, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Born from these monstrous parents, the Chimera was inherently a creature of chaos, embodying the destructive potential of its lineage. Its very existence defied the natural order, a terrifying amalgamation of different animal forms. But the Chimera was more than just a horrifying sight. It was a force of destruction. Its fiery breath scorched the earth, reducing fields and villages to ashes. Its lion claws tore through flesh and bone, and its serpent tail lashed out with venomous strikes. The people of Lycia lived in constant fear, their lives overshadowed by the Chimera's reign of terror. This reign of terror continued until the hero Bellerophon, riding the winged horse Pegasus, answered King Iobates' plea to rid the land of this monstrous scourge. Imagine the aerial battle, with Bellerophon soaring above the flames, guiding Pegasus with expert skill, while the Chimera snarled and snapped with its lion jaws, spewing fire from its goat head and lashing with its venomous serpentine tail. Finally, Bellerophon was able to slay the Chimera with a well-aimed spear thrust, freeing the people of Lycia from its terror. This victory cemented Bellerophon's status as a hero and showcased the power of courage and ingenuity over the forces of chaos. The Chimera has captured the imagination of artists and writers throughout history, appearing in countless works of art and literature. It symbolizes the dangers of unchecked ambition, the monstrous potential within the human psyche, and the clash between civilization and the wild forces of nature. The Minotaur, a creature with the head of a bull and the body of a man, was a monstrous inhabitant of the labyrinth, a complex maze built by the inventor Daedalus on the island of Crete. This creature was born from the unnatural lust of Pasiphae, the queen of Crete, for a magnificent white bull sent by Poseidon. Driven by an uncontrollable desire, Pasiphae had Daedalus construct a wooden cow disguise, allowing her to mate with the bull. This monstrous offspring, named Asterius, the Minotaur, was a source of shame and fear, hidden away in the labyrinth to protect the kingdom from its wrath. Imagine the Minotaur, trapped in the heart of the labyrinth, a creature forever caught between the human and the bestial. Its bull head, with its sharp horns and snorting nostrils, symbolized its raw power and untamed aggression, while its human body represented its connection to the civilized world, a world it could never fully belong to. The labyrinth itself became a metaphor for the Minotaur's tormented psyche, a maze of conflicting instincts and desires. The Minotaur was not inherently evil, but a victim of its own monstrous nature. It was a creature driven by its primal instincts, a prisoner of its own existence. The Athenians, forced to pay a terrible tribute of young men and women to be sacrificed to the Minotaur, lived in fear of this monstrous being. This reign of terror ended when the hero Theseus, with the help of Ariadne, the king's daughter, who provided him with a ball of thread to navigate the maze, entered the labyrinth and slew the Minotaur. This act of heroism not only freed Athens from its monstrous tribute, but also symbolized the triumph of reason and courage over the darker forces of instinct and fear. The Minotaur's story continues to resonate with us today. It represents the beast within, the primal instincts and dark desires that can consume us if left unchecked. It also symbolizes the complexities of human nature and the challenges of navigating the labyrinth of our own minds. Scylla, a terrifying sea monster with 6 heads, each with 3 rows of sharp teeth, lurked in a narrow strait opposite the deadly whirlpool Charybdis. Sailors who dared to pass between these two perils faced a deadly choice: risk being devoured by Scylla or swallowed by the whirlpool. But Scylla wasn't always a monster. She was once a beautiful nymph, a creature of grace and allure who captured the heart of the sea god Glaucus. However, their love story was tragically cut short, not by any fault of Scylla's, but by the venomous jealousy of another. The sorceress Circe, consumed by envy over Glaucus's affection for Scylla, sought to destroy her rival. Circe, with her potent magic and spiteful intentions, poisoned the waters where Scylla bathed, forever transforming her into a horrifying monster. Imagine the terror and despair as Scylla felt her once beautiful form twisting and contorting, her limbs merging with monstrous canine heads, her once graceful body becoming a grotesque amalgamation of serpentine tails and snapping jaws. This transformation was a cruel and undeserved punishment, a violation of Scylla's very being. She was not born a monster, nor did she choose this monstrous existence. It was forced upon her, a tragic consequence of another's envy and the capricious nature of the gods. Trapped in this monstrous form, Scylla became a prisoner of her own existence, a creature of fear and despair. She was forced to dwell in a dark cave, her 6 heads constantly scanning the horizon for unsuspecting sailors. Her once gentle voice was replaced by a cacophony of snarls and growls. Her once loving heart filled with bitterness and rage. The hero Odysseus, during his long journey home after the Trojan War, was forced to navigate the treacherous strait between Scylla and Charybdis. He chose to sacrifice 6 of his men to Scylla, reasoning that it was better to lose a few than to risk losing his entire ship to the whirlpool. This encounter highlights the difficult choices and sacrifices that heroes must sometimes make, and the tragic consequences of Scylla's monstrous existence, an existence that was not her own choosing. Scylla's story is a poignant reminder of the destructive power of jealousy and the unpredictable nature of fate. She represents the unavoidable dangers of life, the difficult choices we must make, and the sacrifices we sometimes have to endure. But more than that, she symbolizes the tragic consequences of being a pawn in the games of the gods, a victim of forces beyond her control. These monsters, though fearsome and destructive, are more than just villains. They are tragic figures, victims of circumstance and divine wrath, their stories offering valuable insights into the human condition. They remind us of the importance of facing our fears with courage, seeking wisdom in the face of adversity, and never giving up hope, even in the darkest of times. Their enduring presence in mythology serves as a testament to the power of storytelling and the enduring fascination with the darker aspects of human nature and the world around us. But these monstrous figures also serve another purpose. They embody the anxieties and societal concerns of the ancient Greeks. The Minotaur symbolizes the untamed, bestial side of human nature, while Medusa represents the destructive potential of beauty and the dangers of objectification. By giving form to these fears, the myths provide a way to explore and confront them. Ultimately, these monsters, whether born from chaos, cursed by the gods, or simply victims of circumstance, enrich the tapestry of Greek mythology, adding depth, complexity, and a touch of terror to the stories that have captivated audiences for millennia.